The portraits of many great Americans adorn the walls of the United States Capitol. But most Americans would not recognize this portrait. It was placed outside the House of Representatives chamber to honor Congressman Dalip Singh Sand. Who was he, and why was he chosen for this honor by Congress? Dalip Singh Sand was elected to Congress in 1956. He served the people of Imperial and Riverside counties in the state of California from 1957 to 1963. Dalip Singh Sand believed in all that the United States stood for and truly lived the American dream.
Dalip Singh Sand, in the story of his life and the chances that he took and the risks and the dreams that he built on, he did this at a time that was even more difficult. And he clearly was a trailblazer.
Dalip Singh Sand's story is so compelling because he came to the United States at a time when Asians were not openly welcome. He persevered and rose above these challenges with grace, compassion, and civility, all the while never straying from his commitment to his constituents and to his Sikh faith.
Simply, religion is something which belongs to the man himself. It is his own personal convictions. I could not change my faith just for the sake of having any political gains. And surprisingly enough, during the campaign, the American people did not make any difference to them at all. So long as I believed in God and I believed in a good life, I was all right for them, apparently.
Dalip became more civically active in the 1940s, coinciding with more changes to U.S. law. The Chinese Exclusion Act was repealed when the United States became allies with China during World War II. So Dalip joined other Indian American leaders in lobbying members of Congress to gain the right for Asian Indians to naturalize as U.S. citizens.
Our goal was to have a law passed in the Congress of the United States which will permit Hindus in the United States to become citizens.
The Luce-Celler Act was introduced in 1943. President Truman signed it into law in 1946. Dalip immediately applied for naturalization. He became a citizen in 1949.
It was my ambition to run for public office. Everyone thought that I had no chance. It was not possible for a Hindu to be elected judge. But I had faith in the American sense of justice and fair play. I campaigned hard and I was elected. Then I was not allowed to sit because I had not been a citizen of the United States for 1 year. And I ran again in 1952, and I served as judge of the Justice Court for 4 years.
At this time, Judge DSS Sand became the only Asian and the only Indian to hold an elected seat in the entire United States. In the election cycle of 1956, the incumbent Republican John J. Phillips announced he would not seek re-election for another term. Judge Sand announced his candidacy and set out to win the endorsement of the California Democratic Party for the 29th District. Dalip faced the wealthy and famous Mrs. Jacqueline Cochran Odlum, who had won the Republican primary.
Jackie Cochran Odlum was the first woman to break the sound barrier in a jet. She's a fascinating character, and this is who, Dalip Singh Sand is paired up against.
The campaign for the seat gained national attention. Reporters all over the country followed the race very closely.
I had a very difficult campaign, but with the help of my American friends and with the astonishment of everybody, I was elected to the Congress of the United States.
Dalip Singh Sand became not only the first Democrat to represent California's 29th congressional district, he was the first Asian, the first Indian, and the first Sikh elected to Congress in the history of the United States.